Welcome back to Firestone Forge. We're still working on the bear hide, and here in a couple of days I'm going to end up pulling it out of the salt and rinsing it off and stretching it out. Now, in order to stretch it out, the rack that I had built before is too small for this hide. So we're going to be building a new rack. I'm building it out of 2x6s. This is not how a rack has to be built. This is just my take on it. You can do this any way you want. I have a background in construction, and I have a tendency to kind of do a little bit of overkill. So you might like what you see, you might not. Stick around, maybe learn something. So this is what we're looking at right here. I've laid out the pieces and I've kind of just butted them up to each other. And I've got them set in the same configuration. The top and bottom, we'll say, will be on the outside, whereas the sides will be inside. If that makes any sense, this will be the top or the bottom. And the sides are these guys. And I've got the same setup on the far end. Okay? And I cut 4 supports. I cut 4 supports that are going to go across. I've made marks on all 4 support beams where I consider to be about the center. And I'm going to drill those real quick with 1/2 inch hole. I've got a 1/2 inch drill bit on my drill, and I'm going to put bolts through there. Once I've drilled each support, I'm then going to place them back where they go and mark on the wood underneath the hole, and then drill through that, and then I'll be able to bolt everything together. So I don't know about you, but I find it annoying that when you set something out like this, you set everything up, you drill all the holes, and then you try and put it back together and you go, wait a minute, which piece went there? So because of that, I've set it out like this. Once I drilled the holes on each of the support pieces, I started off with 1 dot to 4 dots, determining which corner I was at. And I marked 1 and 1, the corner, and number 2, if you can really see that, it's kind of light, but number 2 for the second connection. Now I've done that to all 4 corners. Now all that's left is placing the support beam in its right place. Now remember, if you have a rubber mallet handy, it can make life a little bit easier. And then just make sure to slap on your washers and your nuts. Now, I'm going to go through a little bit later and make sure that everything's tightened down. But for now, I'm going to continue finishing up the other supports, and then we'll see how sturdy she is. So everything is all bolted up nice and tight together, and this thing is fairly sturdy. The one problem I had was before I had tightened everything down, I lifted it up and tried to do a test on it to see how sturdy it was, and everything moved on me. So a friend of mine suggested getting a couple of hinges, sturdy door hinges or industrial hinges perhaps, depending, and attaching them on each of the corners, and then removing the pin once they're securely in place, removing the pin and using something like a mouse key. That's the only way I know it's referred to. It's, you know, flat on the bottom, comes up, and it's got kind of a little nubbly deal. I'll try and do an update on that down the road, but that's the plan. I don't have the parts right now, but this is a complete build. So what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to unbolt this thing, throw it in my pickup, and take it home. In the next couple of days, we're going to be doing the next stage of the bear hide, and we're going to need this. So thanks for watching, and I'll check you guys next time.